Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself in this world of ours. We return to Dragon Age: Rise of the Kunari. Tonight's session, Dragon Age: A Journey for Dragons.
Hey, it's me.
When last we left Boris, he was out going on a rather long quest to the Northern Mountains to possibly find any remnants of leftover dragons or any that might perhaps still be alive to find some truths or lies hidden amongst his past. He is accompanied by his companion Ziona, a researcher and philosopher and lorist, if you will, who was very interested to learn about dragons and find some things out. And she was not being currently handed anything by the Inquisition at that time. So Ziona and Boris set off on their long journey. It has taken you 2 weeks, but you have finally arrived at a very small, kind of almost unnamed mountain village up way north, kind of tucked away. And you didn't actually even think there was anyone up here, but
Hmm,
you see it in the distance, about maybe a mile away.
hmm. All right.
Well, shall we proceed onward? It's been a long trek. I would like to get some rest, and hopefully they'll have an inn.
It's rather remote. It could be
It,
hostile.
it could be.
Hmm.
And you are indeed a Kunari, and if they are keeping up to date on the local words, so to speak, you will certainly be not welcomed. However, we are Inquisition, so
Well,
we have some authority.
maybe I'll just pretend to be your guard for now.
That could be plausible. Shall we work out a scenario to run through then? Should I just simply tell them that you are my bodyguard and that we are simple researchers? Or I am a simple researcher looking for lost artifacts, so to speak?
That could work. Let's try that.
Very well. Let us proceed then.
Hmm.
So you proceed on into the town, and you notice it's very quiet. There is not a whole lot of people out doing things. I think you see a guy off to the right, kind of sharpening an axe on a grindstone. You see a guy over to the far left, separating wheat to eventually make into whatever.
Hmm.
You see a woman over at a wash station, kind of washing clothes and scrubbing them on a wooden tabard.
Hmm.
And when you approach, nobody really looks at you that much. Actually, you get like some odd stares, but
I was gonna,
everyone's very
I was gonna
passive.
say, like, it'd be more abnormal if people didn't look at me. Like,
It's yeah, they're not really looking at you that crazily.
I mean,
If
based
any,
on
if
recent events, I
anything,
mean,
if anything, you guys are kind of getting ignored.
getting a cold shoulder in this town. Okay. Um, I suppose I'll look for any signage that indicates inn or bar,
Yeah, you
or
eventually see a place that kind of looks like an inn. It's a very small inn, but it looks fairly decent.
mhm,
I mean, now that you're in the town, you realize it's actually not that small of a town per se. It just looks small.
right, kind of raggedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this looks like a decent place.
Hmm. Maybe the barkeep has some rumors or info.
You walk up to the bar in the tavern, and you see a woman with red hair and freckles, about mid 20s. It's human, fairly decent looking woman, kind of just sitting there at the bar. Um, Hello, my lady. We have some questions we'd like to ask, and we were wondering if you had a room for the night as well. And she kind of stands there and says, "Yep, got a room. That'll be 2 gold." Ziona hands down 2 gold on the bar, and she says, "We also have some questions. My associate, my bodyguard here, has a few poems he wishes to discuss with you." if that is all right.
Hmm.
She kind of looks. She kind of looks you up and down and says, "All right. What are your questions?"
Dragons, where are they?
She raises one eyebrow and she kind of looks at you and she says, "Haven't been dragons around here for years."
Have there been any sightings? Younger ones? Children that may have survived?
No, sir.
Hmm.
No dragons up here. You're welcome to roll an insight check.
Can I try something else instead?
Sure.
I used to be a dragon worshiper.
Yep.
So if these people are cultists, I should be able to sort of appeal to that side of them through what I know as a Kunari who used to worship dragons. So maybe I can roll. Let's see. What am I good at? I'm not good at sense motive. All I know is perception and intimidate.
Your companion Ziona, she kind of taps you with the butt of her staff, and
Hmm.
she pulls you down to whisper in your ear, and she says, "She's lying."
Oh, okay.
She rolled really good.
Okay. Uh, I'll say, I'll say, you know, that's a real shame because I'm sure, as you can tell by my um, physical ailments, I'm rather connected to dragons. I am a worshipper of sorts, I suppose. I seek to understand them.
She kind of looks between you two and she says, "Look, sir, I there's no dragons around here, but you'd be foolish to go up to the northern pass and go onto the western slope up in the northern peak. That would be a very foolish place to go, and I do not recommend anyone going up there. But there are no dragons here, sir." And she's kind of looking at you like that's all she's going to give you,
I see.
as in kind of like the "Hey, they're up there," but she doesn't actually directly say it.
Well, I suppose I will leave and be on my way then. In not that direction.
Of course, it would be foolish to go up there in the mountains, sir.
No, of course not. I'll just go somewhere else.
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Of course not. And I'll leave.
And yeah, she just goes back to her thing. Well, that's interesting.
They're
Do you
protecting
think that
them.
they? Yeah. Do you think that they worship them here?
I think they're protecting them for a reason. I don't know why.
Hmm. Well, for a long time, there were many wealthy families that hunted them, almost to the brink of extinction. Maybe there are some people that feel, well, an extreme sympathy for them, perhaps.
I read of the hero of Ferelden. There were the worshippers of Andraste. Do you recall those?
Oh, I remember.
Hmm. Might be a similar case. Could be sympathy, could be pity. Our only choice is to head up to that area then and investigate.
Very well then. Perhaps a little time of rest, and then we'll head up.
Hmm. Do we head up during the day or the night?
Well, dragons have great vision during the day, but they have even better at night. So perhaps it would be best to go in the daytime.
Hmm. Very well.
All right. You go up to your rooms, and
Mhm.
she just kind of sleeps. She doesn't even care. You were only able to get a one bedroom room, and she just falls on the bed, and she's like, "You can sleep wherever you want." And she scooches over the side. It's like, if you want that side, that's fine. If you want the floor or the other mattress, that's fine.
I'm
Because
going to
you brought a bedroll.
I'm going to sleep sitting up in front of the door so that if somebody tries to open it, it bumps into them.
Okay, very nice. Um, yeah, the night's uneventful. You hear someone walk by your door at one point in the night, but other than that, nothing else happens.
Hmm. Okay.
And so you set off up to the northern peaks. Um, it's not it, there's a lot of snow here, but
Hmm.
as you get higher in elevation, you notice the temperature kind of increases, although there's still a lot of snow on the ground, and it's
Increases. It
still
gets hotter.
yeah. And you also notice that even though there's still snow on the ground, it is fairly cold.
I see.
Down in the valley, it's like say 20.
Hmm.
Up here in the peaks, it's about maybe 38.
Yeah. Before I leave, actually, before I leave the town, is there a butcher?
There is.
I'd like to buy meat.
How much you want? What kind of meat you looking for?
Mm, wild game, any kind, doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I got some razor beak here if you want. It's probably the best quality meat I got. Got some other deer and elk stock.
How much can I carry, Brandon?
Got some scraggler. Oh, you're pretty strong. You can carry a lot.
I'll get like, I don't know, 50 pounds of meat.
Okay.
So
You
then,
get 50 pounds of meat. And it is cold, of course, but helps preserve it.
mhm.
Um,
No, I'll go.
okay, so that'll be 20 gold, please.
No problem.
Toss him the gold. He says, "Pleasure doing business with you."
Hmm.
You carry the meat off. So as you proceed up to the northern slope, it's kind of a bit of a climb.
Hmm.
It's like steep, but you guys managed to get up there. You're both kind of dressed in more winter clothing at this point,
Hmm.
and you eventually get to kind of like this big open space up in the mountain. It's almost like a little hidden crater valley.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to get up here. Like you're going through thickets, you're climbing, it's cold. You have to kind of wind your way through a maze of trees and thickets to get out here. But then you enter into this big, crazy kind of crater, almost
Hmm.
crater like valley.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's really hard to tell what's going on because there's a lot of thick trees, but then there's a lot of open spots. It's a very vast open area, like really big.
Hmm.
You could probably fit two kingdoms in here, but it's difficult to see things because you kind of had trouble getting down into it, and now you're just in a bunch of thick forest, so it's hard to see just how far out it goes.
Hmm.
But you can see some openings in the trees here and there, so you think there might be some plains and other variations of land forward. So,
Okay. Hmm.
do you wish to simply lay out bait and wait in one of the open spots, of course?
Chances are the larger one will be in some sort of lair if it exists. But for all we know, the only things that inhabit here would be possibly younglings. Uh, I think traveling traveling along the tree line might serve better, and then laying our bait into a more active area.
Very well. I'll follow your lead.
Hmm. I will do as I said I was going to do, Brendan.
Okay, you follow along the tree lines and you find a pretty decent spot, like maybe a spot you could lay out some bait.
Hmm.
You don't really find any layers per se. As you go along, though, you do see that this kind of crater valley is very tall.
Yeah.
It's like got mountains, stretching side to side. So who knows? There might be a layer up there, there might not be, but it's difficult to really tell right now.
Hmm.
It's about midday.
I'm gonna just find a good old opening and dump out 50 pounds of raw meat, wave it around a bit, let the scent carry.
All
Make sure
right.
there's a good wind.
Okay, thanks to Ziona. You find a really couple good places to go and place it. It takes a little bit, and there's like a couple bears and a couple other like animals that'll come by and grab it. But other than that, you guys don't have too much of a problem.
Mhm.
There was a razorbeak that came by, basically a giant kind of flightless bird that
But the meat
tried to take.
was razor beak, so I don't
Yeah,
think you'd want
it
to eat it.
it looked at it and it tried to attack you, and you just kind of effed it off.
Hmm.
It didn't want to mess with you, and eventually you hear wings overhead. And in this little clearing, you do see something land. It doesn't look like a dragon per se. It looks more like what you know to be a drake. It's got it's got like the wings and the arms. It doesn't have the four legs though, and the wings. It just has the legs and the arms, kind of like Game of Thrones dragons.
Yeah,
And it lands and it starts to eat the meat.
you see. Well,
Wow, I didn't even think there were any of those left back here. And she immediately starts taking down notes and drawing sketches.
are they rare?
Well, dragons were typically rare and drakes were more common in the day. It was even said that some of the old Grey Wardens, back in the day when they used to ride griffins, tried to ride some drakes, but they proved to be much more difficult to tame than griffins.
Hmm.
The draconic species in general are quite rare, whether they are drakes, worms, or dragons themselves.
Do you think it might lead to something if we were to follow this back to wherever it has roosted?
Perhaps.
Hmm. All right. I'm going to. I mean, 50 pounds is a lot of meat. Can that drake eat all of it, Brandon?
Oh, this drake will easily eat all of it
I see.
if you throw all of it out.
I mean, I did dump a big pile of it. uh,
It it eats it and then it looks over at you two. Does not seem to be hostile.
I make direct eye contact with it. Because fuck you, animals. I make direct eye contact with you.
Roll me a animal handling +5 with advantage, meaning you roll two d20s and take the highest.
Okay. Uh, just want to make sure I don't have any for them. Let's see. No, I do have 1 point in it. I
Well,
rolled a nat
never mind.
20.
Yeah, yeah, not 20. That's perfect. Um, the dragon looks at you, and you also notice something. Its wing is bandaged with bandages, not like scraps of everything. This dragon has received professional medical attention from someone,
I see.
and it looks at you and just kind of looks indifferent at you. But it's starting to kind of look at you and see that you're not attacking it, and it's actually somewhat friendly right now. It doesn't seem to be really straying away.
Hmm. Humans touched this thing. I'm going
Indeed, I
to.
noticed its wing appears to be bandaged very professionally as well.
I'm gonna like kind of like walk on my knees toward it, not necessarily walking on my hand, like on like full stature, because I feel like if I did, it'd be kind of intimidating. I think if I
Oh,
walked on my knees, it'd be less intimidating than if I was to stand up and just walk towards it.
I mean, either way, this thing is taller than you.
Oh,
This thing is pretty big, dude. Like like it's about
like half the size of a high dragon?
well, I'll send you a picture. So about that size. There's even a human on top for size comparison right there.
That is a big, big boy.
It's actually pretty small compared to some of the other dragons, but yeah, it's that's about that size.
That's a big boy. I'm gonna,
So
and then I'm just gonna walk towards it then because it's bigger than me.
you walk towards it, and you can feel the heat kind of radiate from it, and you just walk towards it, and it kind of moves its snout closer to you and sniffs, tilts its head at you just a little bit, and does not seem to make any move. It just seems to kind of sniff you a bit.
Is there any meat left?
There is.
I'm gonna hand feed it.
Kind of looks at you suspiciously for a bit, and looks down at the meat, and it obviously you can't really hand feed it.
I mean, hopefully it
with-
doesn't actually eat my hand, but I'm
I
trying
mean,
to like,
I mean, without losing an arm, like you can toss it,
yeah.
and it will eat it. Yeah, it eats it.
All right. I'm gonna. Hmm. I imagine it lives in this valley,
Mm-hmm.
and something's protecting it. But
Mm-hmm.
it must have some sort of roost or home.
Perhaps, yeah.
So I'm gonna let it leave
All right, so you're
and
just
then
gonna like
follow
pet
it.
it here, just gonna pet it here or there, and then just kind of chill and wait until it leaves.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna follow it. I'm sure.
Okay. It kind of sits down and is very comfortable around you, so it doesn't really like leave for a while. But then after after a good half an hour,
Gets
it kind
bored.
of gets bored and it takes off and takes flight. And you follow it the best you can,
Yeah.
and you see it kind of go into this little outcropping that's kind of up above you.
Mhm.
Go ahead and roll me a climb check. Actually, never mind. Hold on. You notice that it's kind of up about maybe a good 30 feet.
Mhm.
And Ziona goes, hold still for just a sec, Boris. And she reaches out her hand to have you grab it.
Mhm.
And you both slowly levitate up and you go into the cave.
We.
And then she kind of taps her staff down on the stone wall and casts light on the tip of the staff. You look into a vast kind of cave-like system and you continue on downward. And it eventually comes to like this big overall arcing kind of maze here.
Mhm.
And then you see comes out into a big cavern. And the best way I can describe it is if you watch Lord of the Rings, do you remember the scene in the Mines of Moria where like they come out to like the crossroad area
Yeah.
and there's like this big vast open chamber, but there's all these different tunnels that lead here or there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and you can see a couple dragons here or there. You can see some drakes and some things, and there's even torches lit. There's light.
Okay. So are there
There's
drakes or dragons?
both. And there's even man-made structures in here. It looks like some little huts and houses here or there.
The, I mean, are we seeing people then, or?
No, you see no people, but you go out into the center and you can see some light coming down because if you look straight up, there's this big, vast hole that they can come in and fly out of.
Mhm. I
But
see.
you don't see anyone near, but you see torches, you can see light coming down in.
Mhm.
There's like these big water basins for them to drink out of.
Right. Okay. Um, Maybe the huts have some sort of,
Right?
I don't know, something, info, journals, something.
Yep. You go up to a hut and one of them is locked.
What kind of hut is it? Is it just like a trying to like look through the cracks and see if there's like somebody sitting inside going, "Oh fuck!" Like,
No, you look through the cracks, there's no one inside. There's no light on inside either. So it's just a typical wooden kind of little hut. Like small house, single room, you know.
hmm. I turn to the Oracle friends and I say, if I think if we were to act violent or hostile, it might upset the drakes that are here. I think it may be best if we act as if we are supposed to be here,
Indeed.
and they'll
We mean
think.
we mean no harm anyway, so the drakes and dragons do not seem to be hostile at this moment.
I just mean we shouldn't go kicking down doors as much as I'd like to. Hmm.
So far you only see a couple dragons and maybe about four drakes, and they're all really they're small, kind of like the one that you saw outside. They're not too big.
I
The only
mean,
dragon
small is relative. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, the dragon you see is fairly large, but it's not like the dragons of lore. It's not
mhm.
that size. It's about
But
the size I'm showing in the picture.
if
Most of
they
them are about that size.
if they exist, then that implies that something is either making them or they've been here since before. So
Indeed. I'm also curious as to who is exactly guarding them, considering as how no one is here.
hmm, they are dragons. I doubt they need guarding. But
Indeed, this almost looks like a little reservation of sorts. Like someone is
protect.
breeding them and protecting them, yes.
hmm, my intention was to seek them out in order to preserve them, perhaps, or breed them. And they are doing this here. Perhaps if I wait for this person to return, we could talk to them. They might be reasonable. After all, our
Perhaps.
goals are related.
Perhaps. Morris, I felt the veil shift just now.
Hmm.
Hold on a moment. And she goes back to the outside of the cave. And she casts some sort of spell. And you see her eyes kind of glow a white. And she's looking out back towards where the village was. And she says, "That's impossible. Kunari, here, all the way up north.
Did they follow us?
They came through some kind of portal and now they're attacking the village.
Oh, great.
What do you want to do? We can't let them find them. They'll take them and use them in the war. This cannot be."
How quickly can we get down there?
She says, "How quickly do you want to be down there?" And she smiles. And she will touch you. And do you resist dimensional door?
No.
Okay. So she pulls you through the dimensional door, and you guys arrive down in the village square.
Oh, Boris goes, and you couldn't have done that before. You have to do it. We walk all the way up there, and then
I can only.
just grumbling like he doesn't understand magic.
She grumbles and she's like, "I can only teleport to places that I have been within a certain range, dinghead."
Uh, No, time to kill Kunari. Yeah.
You see you see a small handful of Kunari kind of all of a sudden just look and be like, oh, and they say in Kunari, surrender now.
And I say in Kunari, what the fuck are you even doing here? There's nothing here. It's a village.
We know there are dragons here, Vashath.
I mean, there's me. And then I breathe fire on the.
Oh, you're just gonna breath weapon? Okay. They gotta roll a reflex, don't they? What's the DC again?
Fuck. Hang on. It's.
Most of these guys are just foot soldiers too.
They're all standing together too. They're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, they're in
in
a group.
formation. We're in formation. Where is it? It's at the bottom here. Breath weapon. So it's 10 DC cold, 30-foot cone. It is the DC of the save is 10 plus half your blood rager level plus your constitution modifier. So that would be.
So that's 5 plus your constitution modifier.
Can I rage? No.
No.
Okay, so it'd be 10. So it'd be 10 plus
it's
10 plus 5 plus 3.
Okay, so that will be 16, 17, so that'll be DC of 18.
Mhm.
So fail. Fail. Fail.
Mm-hmm.
Succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So one guy is like, "Oh shit, he's got a breath weapon," and he jumps out from the side, and then all of the other ones are hit, and because they're all guards, they just die instantly.
Oh, I don't even have to roll damage. Okay.
Just and yours is ice breath, I believe, right?
Yeah. So they're all statues.
They all just turn into statues and start to crumble. And then the commander kind of ducks and he looks out and he charges you. He's going to go ahead and attack you with a charge. He pulls out a great axe.
Was that a surprise round?
I'll say that was a surprise round, but I'm going to say he's going to get to react now.
Okay.
So 31 to your AC.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Try not to do it on all caps.
Roll. Just full caps.
So 14 damage as he slashes you with the axe.
Oh, that's nothing. Okay. 14
And
to
then he
like
got-
150.
Yep, and then he's going to do another attack.
Mm-hmm.
This time it will be Vital Strike. 26 versus your AC.
Hits.
So 23 damage this time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As he just comes up to you and he's like, "Rah!" with the axe. And then Ziola's going to get her turn. So she's just going to point her staff at him and cast Scorching Ray at high level she got. She's going to roll a ranged touch attack. Versus his touch AC. Does that hit his touch AC? That does, actually. So she'll roll damage on this. So he'll take 24 fire damage to the face.
Mm-hmm.
And since we don't even need to really roll initiative, it'll just be your turn now.
Okay.
So he just came up and he cut you.
Right. Uh-huh.
He's a pretty big guy. He's almost your size.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a commander.
I'm going to rage because he hurt me. Ow. I don't like that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to power attack him.
Okay, so -3 plus 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so -3 to your overall attack roll, plus 6 to damage, and you can do all of your attacks if you want. I think you get 3.
Oh, yeah. I get 2.
Get 2? Okay, 2
Yeah.
attacks. Each
So
one at -3 from its additional each one at -3 from its additional base value.
17 would go to 15? No, 14.
Yes. It would -3. So 16, 15, 14.
Oh, yeah.
So your first attack would be -14, and then go down to your second attack, and then minus that one from 3.
25.
25 will hit.
And then I'll roll my other one just to.
Yep.
It goes from 12 to 9.
Yep.
21.
21 will hit.
Hooray. Okay. So that would be, let's see.
So you would roll your weapon damage twice.
Yeah.
Or like, for example, if you did 1d12, you'd roll 2d12. And then you would add
60.
an additional +6. So what is your normal damage when you hit?
It is 3d6 plus 5.
Right. So you would roll 6d6 plus
10, 6,
No,
16,
plus 22.
plus 22. Okay.
Yeah, because normally it would be 6 plus 6 and 6, 12. So actually it'd be 24. So actually add 2 to that. So that's
42.
going to be 44 damage actually.
Oh.
Ouch. So he he comes up to you and he's like, and then you're just like,
Fuck you. God.
yeah, he's not happy about that. So he is going to rage.
Oh boy.
And he is going to attack you back.
Mm-hmm.
He is also going to power attack. 18 versus your AC.
That doesn't hit.
Okay. 22 versus your AC.
That does hit.
Okay, and his third attack, because he gets one. 14 does not hit.
Nope.
Okay. So 25 damage.
Okay.
For you, that'd be, I think, 23. Because I think you've got a reduction when you're raging.
Yeah.
Okay, so he cuts you again. This time you're kind of getting used. You kind of dodge and weave. And it is Ziora's turn. She is going to... She's going to try and cast Pit. So you got to roll a reflex save. DC 18. He's raging, so he's got a better reflex.
I do?
No, he does. Wow, he actually beat it. So she tries to cast Pit on him, and a little small pit kind of forms under him, and he's like, oh, and he ducks to the side, and he goes off to your side.
Mm-hmm.
It was back to you.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh yeah, and Ziora's going to activate her aura ability. This will give you a +1 to hit and damage.
Ooh.
She will give you the Blessing of War, and
Plus,
you hear her you hear her chant behind you in a language you don't recognize.
Is that overall, or is that just to weapon attacks?
Overall.
I see. So then
your power attacks would be +7, technically. Because technically there's a just natural +1 getting added to everything. To hit and damage.
Let's see. This one.
You also notice now that apparently through the portal,
yeah,
there were some Qunari that kind of left some weapons here, and they've got like these big chains and nets and carts with like with what look like dragon capturing stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently it seems that all they sent were those 5 guys that you just killed and the commander. And you do notice that there's a portal open up behind them, and it's at this point that as you're fighting, you can kind of see that guy, and there's a guy at the portal, and he goes, oh shit, and he runs through the portal and closes it.
Oh, damn. I was hoping I could go through it and just beat the shit out of everybody. Who the fuck wants to hurt dragons? Just starts beating them.
Yes, teleporting into the middle of the Qunari main capital would be a brilliant idea.
Yeah. I'd like to cast Ray of Enfeeblement.
You have spells?
Yes.
Okay, I believe, is that a save or is that a touch?
It is a. It would be a. Let's see. Each ray, blah blah blah. The rays. No, sorry. I have to succeed on a ranged touch attack to strike a target.
All right. So range touch is basically your base attack bonus plus your dex modifier.
Okay. So it would
What?
be
So
10
what?
plus 3.
Yeah, so 13.
Yeah. 23.
That will hit.
Okay. And then he makes a. So it takes. Then he makes a fortitude save.
Oh, fortitude save. Jeez, he's got a good one on that. Yeah, 27.
Yeah. Except fortitude only halves the effect. Doesn't actually completely get rid of it. So no matter what, he gets a hit to strength. Which would be 1d6 plus 1 per 2 caster levels.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's remember that's the +1 that's 2 cast levels, not each d6.
right. So that would
So
be. So if I wanted to cast it at second
2
level, what would
for
that mean?
2 for. Well, it's per caster level that you take, right?
Oh, and
So
Blood
yeah, it'd
Rager
be
is a caster level,
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it'd be +10.
but its maximum is plus 5.
Oh, so 5. So 1d6 plus 5. So
Yeah.
he loses. Oh, sorry, I didn't roll that. He loses. Oh shit. He loses 11 strength. That's pretty big. Um. So he's like, oh,
Fuck you. Like, it's
and then
such a.
he's going to, yeah, he's going to attack you. He's going to get a massive loss to this. He's still raging, so he still gets a decent bonus. 24 to hit,
Mhm.
9 misses, 17 misses.
Mhm.
He only hits you with 1. I'll hit you with another power attack. 23 damage.
Woo.
As he's like, oh, he's trying so hard to hit you, but he's so much weaker now.
Mhm.
And Ziora is going to. Ziora's going to cast. She's going to back up and see you get hurt more, and she's going to cast. She can do some stuff. What's she going to do? Ooh, yeah, she'll do that. She'll do blinding powder spray.
Mm.
He will make a reflex save on this one.
I think Boris knows he's going to win the fight at this
Oh
point.
damn! He got that. So he'll still take a minus though. So she pulls out like this blast, like this little thing of powder, and
Yeah.
she blows it at him, and it flies in his eyes, and he's like, ah, it doesn't really affect him that much, but he's still taking a minus.
Yeah.
So go ahead and it's your turn.
Okay.
He's not looking too good.
Can I like pull my attacks to where I only drop him to 0 hit points and I don't kill him?
You can declare that you're going to do a non-lethal attack. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do non-lethal attacks.
Okay.
Just beating him over the head with my pommel.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm just gonna do. I'll do power attack. So that would be, or no, no, no. I don't want to miss. So I'll just do normal attacks. 1d20 plus 17, 29.
Don't even bother rolling. He only had 4 hit points left.
Okay.
So you just come up to him and you're just like, bam, bam, bam. You start pummel bashing him, and he just goes lights out.
Hooray!
Combat is over.
Hooray!
If the Kunari have the ability to transport this far north, just how much of the land have they mapped out? This makes no sense. Someone has to be giving them information like this. Heck, we didn't even know this village was here. How did they? She waves her staff over you, and your wounds start to heal.
That would imply that they have scouts, though, right? They must have scouts.
Indeed,
And the Coon is followed by many people, not just the Kunari like me.
that is true.
So infiltrators are possible.
Perhaps.
Hmm.
Either way, we best. I'll send a long-range message as best I can back to the Inquisition.
Ooh,
But we
ooh, hey,
are
guess what?
what?
Hey, I'm going to pick up the Kunari and I'm going to put him in the dragon cage.
Huh. I assume you wish to interrogate this one later.
Well, they did deliver the equipment to do so, right?
Perhaps we shall. I will send a message to the Inquisition as best I can, and
I'll tie him up
hopefully,
with chains and I'll do everything they were going to do to the dragons to this guy.
indeed. All right. And Ziona is getting ready to send a message, and she sends a raven too, just to be extra effective.
I'm going to walk around the town and I'm going to start like yelling at people like, hey, the bad people are dead. Like,
Town's kind of, they saw what you did, and they're kind of like, okay, this guy's cool. They're with you. They're no longer looking at you like, ignoring you. They're like, okay, this guy's okay.
I'm going to approach one of the people. I'm going to say, do you have a healer here?
We have a medic. No apostates here, sir.
Medic. That's all I want.
Yeah, you go to the medic. What do you ask of the medic?
I say, why are you bandaging dragons?
I have not been bandaging dragons.
There
We,
is.
sir, we were honest earlier when you came in. When we told you we have nothing to do with the dragons, we were being honest.
I only asked the barkeep that. How would you know?
Word gets around.
Really?
Yes. We have not been tending the dragons, sir. They'd be eating us. No one here has the skill or ancient knowledge to actually tame or, let alone,
Why
feed
are there
dragons.
fresh bandages on a trach? And why is it friendly?
Kind of looks at you with a confused look, and he's like, that is a bit odd.
And why is there a hut, multiple huts, in a cave filled with dragons?
I don't know, sir. But none of us have done it. Look, we just keep to ourselves up here, and if you want to ask, there is possibly someone you can ask, but I do not think they are here. I think they left a while ago. About a couple days ago.
Go on.
I shouldn't say any more, but you did save us from that. Well, there's a dragon tamer of sorts who lives up in the mountains with them. She might be able to do something for you. She can give you answers, but I will not tell you her name or other location. We've done the best we can to keep this secret.
I think I know where she lives. I was standing in front of her house. Thank you, though.
Of course, sir.
I
Like I said,
appreciate.
if she ever comes back, you can certainly talk with her.
I think I know where I can go to find her. Don't worry. I appreciate your assistance in this information. I have no desire to hurt anyone other than, well, the people I already killed.
I
My,
understand.
my intentions are peaceful. And I'll leave, and I'll God, I can't remember her name for the life of me.
Ziona?
Ziona. There we go. I'll approach Ziona and I'll say, right. Apparently there's a dragon tamer. That probably is what that house is up in the cave.
Yes, and no one was home, so I guess you wish to wait there?
They have to come home eventually, right? To check up on their children.
Indeed. Well, then we wait, watch, and listen. Onward, then.
Hopefully the townspeople don't kill the canary in the cage.
We will see.
All right, do your door thing.
You step through the portal, back into the cave, and you wait. And that is where tonight's session will end. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.